That was one of the songs that really got me through that time. I didn't really look into him as an artist. They have a meaning, they have purpose, they have a flow to it. So hey, how's it going everybody? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Frassix. So exactly a year ago from the day that I uploaded this video, The Weeknd released his album called After Hours, and it has honestly taken the world by storm. It was such a pivotal moment in his career, and it definitely showcased how he could elevate himself as an artist, because of course he's been in the mainstream kind of music scene for a while now, but I feel like this album really took his image and his sound up a notch. But funny enough, before this album was released and even after this album was released, I wasn't really a big fan of The Weeknd or the album, but it was because of the Super Bowl performance this year where I had to basically review his entire After Hours era, where I really got to know him and understand him and really appreciate his artistry and everything like that. So for this video, I really just wanted to take a brief moment just to explain how the After Hours era changed me and changed my relationship with The Weeknd and how I perceived him and everything like that. I'm going to be talking about some of my favorite songs from the album, as well as some of my favorite music videos and performances, all leading up until the Super Bowl halftime show. And yeah, I'm just going to stop talking and start explaining. So without further ado, here is how the After Hours changed my perception of The Weeknd. Okay, so I guess I can explain how I am familiar with The Weeknd, because of course he's been in, like I said, the mainstream kind of scene for a while now. The first time where I really heard about him was in 2014 when Ariana collaborated with him on her song called Love Me Harder, which was on her album called My Everything. And that was really the first time that I actually heard him and really was familiar with him, because before that I didn't really know who he was. Of course he did release a handful of mixtapes that were super successful beforehand, but I guess I was more of a main pop kind of person, especially back then. So for him to really infiltrate that and kind of introduce himself with Ariana was a really good start, because of course the song was a bop, the music video was amazing. But funny enough, I remember reading in the comments when it first came out, there were a lot of people who were unfamiliar with The Weeknd, like myself, and they were basically like, what's wrong with his hair, or why is he singing like that, his lyrics are kind of dirty and stuff. Because back then Ariana was just still a PG kind of girl, she wasn't really talking about all this explicit stuff. But The Weeknd was on his parts of the song, it's saying, get you moaning and stuff like that. So a lot of people were taken aback by it, and they're like, whoa, this is kind of not safe for work kind of thing. And I was okay with it, but there were a lot of people in the comments when it was first released saying that it was definitely interesting. But yeah, then fast forward to 2015, I graduated high school and I was doing my summer college orientation. And during the summer of 2015, Can't Feel My Face was super popular as well. So I basically heard that song all the time, and I even remember it playing in the amphitheater that I was in for my college orientation. And that's I don't know, every time I think of that song I think of my college experience, even though it was very short-lived, only went to college for a few months. But for that summer orientation, that was my favorite part of college, and that was one of the songs that really got me through that time. And then I'm pretty sure from then, I just kept on hearing him on the radio over and over, with Earned It from 50 Shades of Grey, then all of his other songs as well. So it's just really interesting, because even though I heard a bunch of songs from him, I didn't really look into him as an artist or his discography or everything like that, because all the songs that he was singing about were explicitly about sex or drugs or stuff like that. And back then I was just not into that kind of stuff, so I didn't really give him the light of day, I guess. And the years went by and everything like that, and then Blinding Lights was released at the very end of 2019, and that song was played everywhere. I remember everyone making such a big deal about it, and I was like, okay, it's a good song, but I didn't really look into his the music videos or the performances or anything like that, aside from like hearing it on the radio. Like I didn't actively seek out his music at the time. And that the same thing goes with 2020, because even though the After Hours album was released in 2020, like I remember when it did come out and like everyone was making a big deal about it, like I did give it a brief listen through, but like I didn't really vibe with the sound, and like I don't know, it's just super, I don't know, I didn't really connect with it as much as I thought I would. But then again, like I kind of like listened to it half-assedly, so I didn't really pay attention to it that much, and like I didn't really listen through the entire songs or anything like that, so I can kind of get why I didn't connect with it at first. And then fast forward to the end of 2020, you know, like throughout the pandemic and everything, and then the NFL announced that The Weeknd was going to be headlining the Super Bowl halftime show, and I was kind of like surprised because I expected it to be one of the main pop girlies, because that's who I wanted it to be. And I didn't, like, of course I knew who The Weeknd was, like I said, and I was familiar with his music, and he definitely had some great bops, but it was just surprising. So like I didn't really know what to think of it. But then earlier this year in 2021, I decided, you know what, since, you know, I love like halftime show performances in general, no matter who it is. It's always like this hyped kind of event during the game day on Super Bowl Sunday every year in America. So that's why I was just like, you know what, I will give him the light of day, and I will, you know, do this crazy thing which I never done before, which is react to, like, I literally looked at his like videos and performances and everything like that, and I saw that there was a lot from this era. So in my mind I was just like, okay, you know what, this is the best time to do these reaction videos. So I basically did a reaction video every single day for like a week and a half to 2 weeks leading up until the Super Bowl, and not just one video per day. It was like 2 or 3 videos per day pertaining to The Weeknd in some shape or form, whether it be like his music, his music videos, his performances, or just me talking about him. Like it was literally The Weeknd every single day, and I definitely gained a few followers from that. So hi, if you were basically watching during that time where I was just releasing a video every single day. And like as I kept on like watching his videos, like of course like the first videos that I did watch were from his singles, you know, like Heartless, Blinding Lights, and everything like that. But then I didn't really know that he had a storyline. Like that's the thing, like I didn't know how good of an actor he was, and I didn't know how creative he was with his projects and everything. You know, like for the music videos, it has like an overall arching storyline, even though some of it may be like more closely related than the others. Like usually they flow into each other, but it's usually released out of order. But it's just super interesting that he did that, and I discovered that. And then when I did discover it and I caught on to it and like basically confirmed it when people were telling me about it in the comments, you know, I was like more intrigued, because I was like, this isn't just like some guy who's just releasing out like 80s music with like this weird lyrics. They have a meaning, they have purpose, they have a flow to it. So I was just like more intrigued, because I really like when things have a storyline, whether it be like in music videos, games, like whatever, as long as it has like a logical sense, like especially behind, like especially when the artist says that there's like a flow to a certain thing, whether it be like the albums or the music videos. Like I'm highly intrigued. So it was just really impressive just to see, like even for the entire After Hours era, you know, this persona that he put on. It's absolutely crazy that he really dedicated himself to it from the beginning all the way until the Super Bowl, which is pretty impressive to continue with that persona throughout to the entire, essentially the biggest concert experience of the year. And in all honesty, like it just blew my mind how much respect I gained from watching all of his videos and performances and everything like that. And again, this all led up until Super Bowl halftime show this year, which when I did watch it, I was just like, this is crazy, this is super awesome. Like of course I wish there would have been like a little bit more pizzazz before what he gave us and what he could do at the time. Like it was really great, and like he did keep his persona from the After Hours era, like I said, and he really kept through with those themes and everything, you know, going through the different eras for his music, but while keeping that same kind of structure, you know, with the bandages and the dancers and everything like that. And of course people didn't get that when I posted my reaction, which if you guys haven't seen my reaction to the halftime show performance, the link for that will be in the description below. It's funny because I remember when I did post my reaction at first, there were a lot of negative comments saying like how much it sucked and everything, and it didn't make sense, and it was just super weird and super lame because he basically like just like stood there and stuff. And like that's the thing, like when I did watch his previous performances, like he doesn't really do much dancing or everything. He's more so just standing there, but it's more so just the visual aspects, you know, like the Blinding Lights VMA performance. That was super iconic. Like he was literally just like standing on the stage, and he was also like doing that thing with like the camera at the very beginning, and then like he was just basically staying on the stage, and it was more so like the effects and the fireworks and everything that was really capturing people's attention, as well as, you know, his AMA performance with Save Your Tears and In Your Eyes. So I kind of expected it to go, like going into this performance, that he was going to do something similar to that, and he definitely did. But I guess a lot of people just they weren't really vibing with that, and I was just like, okay, respect. Because the thing is that if I didn't go through this entire after hours kind of purge, I guess, of all his videos and music and performances, I probably would have been in the same boat that they are. It's like, I don't get it, you know, it's like I don't like it, it's too simple, it's not good enough, blah blah blah. Like I probably honestly would have been in the same boat as them and kind of like hate on this performance that he put on, which kind of like makes me like, it kind of really opens my eyes, because it's because of me going and investing myself into his work and everything that I understand him in this performance, which kind of makes me really interested just to see how much other things that I've missed out on, that I don't really give the light of day, how much I would respect them more if I only like went into their discography. And it can be for like any artist, or not just artists, but like anything really. Like if I don't really like get the time to know something, I won't really invest myself in it. And it's basically the same thing for The Weeknd. But anyways, overall, I thought the performance was really well done. Of course, I didn't know House of Balloons, and then everyone in the comments was also just like slandering me, because they were like, how do you not know House of Balloons? Because that was the only song that I didn't know about. But then again, like I was only really listening to his After Hours era, and I didn't really dive into his previous discography before, which I am still doing. I did react to the House of Balloons EP, and if you guys want to see that, the link for that will be in the description below. And I'm still gonna go through the other EPs and then his albums and stuff. I'm just been really backlogged on stuff, and stuff's taking precedence, so I will get to them eventually, so just bear with me. But yeah, overall this album and this era just really gave me, like I said, a new respect for Abel. And I guess I can probably just tell you a few of the songs that I really vibe with, because of course the entire album is Abel, and I really respect him for doing a lot of these songs. But I guess some of my favorite songs, aside from the singles, because I absolutely love Save Your Tears and In Your Eyes and Blinding Lights, of course, and Heartless is pretty boppy too. But I guess the ones that aren't, I guess it would probably be Snow Child and Scared to Live, and probably Faith as well, because it's just, I don't know, there's just a lot of songs that I really vibe with. And of course the deluxe tracks for this album, like, oh my gosh, like nothing compares. Like I was shook when I reacted to that, and if you guys want to see my reaction to that, the link again will be in the description below. But it's just absolutely crazy. I just really loved the I guess the cohesiveness of this era and this album and everything, and I guess that's just really what makes me gain more of a respect for him, is because he is putting on this consistent theme and performances and persona and everything. So, you know, a good job to him, and just basically happy 1 year anniversary of the After Hours album. Such an iconic era, such an iconic album, performances, everything, and now it just really gets me super hyped for his next album whenever that is released, because you know, I'll definitely be looking forward to what kind of music videos he's going to be putting out, what kind of performances, if he's still going to have this same persona, if he's going to continue to have these kind of things interconnect and everything. So I'm just really interested and excited for his next project whenever that will be. Yeah, that's pretty much it for me, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully I kept it short enough. I really did enjoy like just telling you guys my little spiel about this After Hours era and how much and how it basically made me a fan of The Weeknd. What is your story? Like, what do you think of this After Hours era and the album? Do you guys think it's like his best? Do you guys think it's his worst? Do you guys think it's in between? What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. If you guys like this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, all the usual things. Follow me on my social media accounts, just keep up with everything The Weeknd that I do. And also, let's just say, even though this was super iconic and everyone did like love this album, it was super snubbed at the Grammys. So you know what, that's just super sucky that it didn't, because I'm super surprised, because it definitely would have deserved like at least a nomination for Album of the Year or anything like that, Song of the Year for Blinding Lights or something. But anyways, until the next video, the wonder won't stop. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye. Boo.